Thank you to Shirokoi for your support on Patreon.
Hello. Wow, the camera is really short right now. Let me fix that shit. Hello, everyone. My name is Deckerlink, the trained unprofessional, and you're very shaky. I'm sorry. I'm sorry! Oh, Jesus. It is the long-anticipated, often request, and visually stunning, the Hayseed Knight. Listen to this fucking menu music, man. I've listened to this for like a few minutes now, and I'm just goddamn jamming. Like, I love the little animation on the screen. It gives you a little sense of, ooh, what's this gonna be about? It's kind of windy, and it's looking a little desolate. There's like, it already sets the tone. I really like it. It's in the contention for like best menu screen. This is hard. Harder than I would have thought. Coming back, I mean. I've been walking for who knows how long, but here I am. So let's see how... Heirloom? It's like heirloom. It's heirloom. Heirloom. Changed in my absence. Ooh, loving the art style. It's kind of like Regal Tales. Herub, good to see you. The royal pathway, fancy as ever. People, tiny people, gods, I still hate you all. I swear that if someone so much as looks at me twice, I'm leaving and not coming back. For real. Seriously. No looking at me. Really? How could you ignore this big hat? Oh, shit. Do you even know who I am, you witless bunch of fop doodles? Fine, whatever. I guess that it's been longer than I thought. Leave the whole fame and glory thing to the people who actually deserve to be mentioned. Like me. After all, I'm basically doing charity work here. There's no reason for me to come back. I should have just stayed out of Akazor forever. I should have learned not to care about the things they say about that dumbass at this point. But the things they have been saying about him are just crazy. The Knight of the Upper Field, that's how they call him now. And they sing dumb songs about all the awesome things he never did. Battling monsters, serving whatever king or queen rules at the time, casting spells, loving does, ha! Until morning comes. Loving does. What the fuck does that mean? Making foes vanish with a single scream. And you know what? It's getting really hard to remember what's true and what's a lie, and that's scary. That's the single scariest thing that's ever happened to me. I like him too much to ignore this anymore. So, I'm going home. I'm going to tell everyone what kind of idiot that their dear knight is, figuratively, in a book, without my name. I don't especially want to be lynched. Right. This was a letter. Can you read yet? If so, tell your mother I hate her. If not, I guess she'll burn this letter for your convenience. Wish me luck all the same. I have no idea how to start this. Chapter 1, The Fickle Queen. What better way to start a story than when things are about to go south? Nice.
Ader.
Oh, there is voice acting. Oh, shit.
Hey, lad.
What's that?
Do we have to go through this every single fuck? No! Oh boy. Here we go.
Oh boy. Encyclopedia. Yoff.
A beast!
A beast. Oh my god, look at those hands! Look at those hands! Oh, damn.
I saw a beast! Way to call me an eyesore.
I'm telling you, I saw a beast.
Right. Look, I'm not drunk enough for this, so good.
This ain't no time to sleep. The beast may be gone, but the Macadar is still out there!
The Macadar.
The forest out there has come to find me!
Can you stop screaming like an idiot and use your brain for a second?
Goff likes to sing-song a lot.
I knew they'd get to the city one day!
You look so fucking... you look so scared.
We gotta tell everyone!
There are no damn trees around, you dimwit!
A long shush followed right after, or that's what we'll go with since the words their dear neighbors used were too colorful to be reproduced.
Oh, then what did you holler for, Mr. Bard? The sun ain't up yet. If you don't quit your whining, we're gonna get a beating.
Says you, the buck who hath been delighting mine ears with his pitiful wailing all night long.
Say what?
You've been talking in your sleep again.
Sorry.
Well, slap my head and call me silly. I'm so sorry, Mr. Bard. I forgot we were an heirloom for a moment there.
Heirloom.
But no more. I'm gonna make sure to keep my dreams dead silent from now on.
Good old southern accent.
That's what you said last time. Ah.
Ah.
Can't a deer have a hangover in peace for once?
Huh.
You know that I'd move away if I could, but...
Don't sweat it, kid. Once you're faring better, you'll take us both out of our misery.
Wait. Fair? Fair? 03.
03? What?
Don't.
The fair!
I swear to bite that kid, if you keep screaming, I'm going to kill you.
Not if they get to me first!
And he's out. And so Ader's heavy hooves stomped the ground with the force of a stampede as he sprinted away, making Goff regret every decision that led him to suffering this torment.
Glad we sorted that out.
I love the character designs in this game. Wide awake now and running as fast as his clumsy hooves would let him, Ader set off to the bazaar. A whole year had come and gone since he'd set foot on the streets of the Slander District, the most infamous slums of the capital. A place so heinous that walking there alone at night was considered a suicide attempt. A place where you were in your right to keep a house if you could outlast its previous owner. Where he'd once felt like a poor fawn fearing for his life, now he felt like a poor deer fearing for his life. But at last, he actually knew his way around after such a long time avoiding brigands. He had no time to spare worrying about trivial matters such as being robbed or stabbed, for he knew fully well that he was to meet his destiny.
The patron's gonna skin me alive!
The motherfucker bouncing around and shit. Oh, Christ. A destiny which most likely didn't really include being flayed by his dearest employer. Though we can't rule out the possibility of his direct superior whacking him in the head for oversleeping on such an important date.
What if she hates me now?
What if you give yourself a fucking shaking syndrome, you fucking Christ? And then what?
Patron won't have no problem kicking me out. He'll kick me out and keep my skin as a payment.
Oh, no.
Nah, that's dumb.
Not that dumb.
But he'll kill me anyway. Oh, crap.
So immersed was he in these fatalistic thoughts invading his head that his brain, which was by all accounts mostly made up of sawdust, didn't pay any mind to the path his hooves were following. Fucking ran so fast I didn't see him almost. And so, as it to be expected from someone not heeding the wise advice, look where you're going, he soon met the first obstacle in his way to the plaza. A wall.
Dear.
Oh, snap. In any other place, that soft chuck would have meant that Ader wouldn't have the benefit of living with his failures alone. In the slums, it could mean that he wouldn't have the benefit of living at all.
That was almost impressive.
Oh my.
I truly thought that you were going to run straight through that wall for a moment.
Moment. The voice got closer by the second, following by a strangely harmonic tinkling, a melody that danced in his ears and paralyzed his mind, rendering him frozen in the spot at the thought of an incoming murderous lady. Ader shut his one remaining eye and held his breath deeply, knowing that it would be the last. Not dead yet. Still not dead. Oh, come here, we're still alive. That's just rude. Between his blurry sight and the what the fuck? Obfuscating? Ooh, $20 million word right there. Darkness, Ader could barely tell apart the silhouette standing right in front of him. He should have run and screamed and begged for his life, but instead, he hesitated long enough for a few stray sun rays to wander among the rundown houses, finally casting light upon his foe.
Whoa!
Whoa! That was that animation? That was animation for a second!
For your information, everyone already thinks that Rose are thick-skulled. We don't need another martyr for the cause.
Hottie? That's just called Hottie. Oh, lordy, yes. Ader's absolute lack of reaction made her mocking smile falter. To be fair, he had indeed left a sizable hole in the wall he'd just crashed against, but that was hardly the cause for his sudden drop in mental speed.
Are you okay?
No. Ader nodded, though he hadn't really heard the question. Oh boy. Sensing this, the mysterious lass extended a soft hand towards him in an amiable gesture. Take her hand or play it cool. Take her hand. No need to fucking play. You just ran smack dead ass into a fucking wall. You don't need to be like, oh, yeah, it's meant to do that. No, just, she's helping you. Fucking take the help. Christ. Load her like a gun, Christ.
What are those?
I know they're short. Please don't stare.
What kind of nonsense is that? I'd never seen hands like those before.
Boop.
My hands? You like my hands?
You like my hands? Oh, shit, Missy, I swear to God, that's one of the nicest goddamn things you ever done be said to me. I just met you. Well, yeah, by default, that's the nicest thing you ever said to me.
Were you born with them? How much weight can you lift? Can you use tools at all? Or wear a shirt? What's wrong with your neck? Is that a hood or a scarf? I love the pattern, by the way.
Oh, she talking so much.
So?
I'm sorry, ma'am. What was the question?
Questions. She asked like 15 of them.
You? What are you supposed to be?
Oh! Well, I'm just your run-of-the-mill prairie buck, ma'am. Just, you know, my mom gave me shovels for hands and a gourd for a neck. They're better for work in the fields.
Oh, come on. I want the actual story.
You want the boring bits? Okay. See, I used to be all big and strong. But then I come to the city and what do you know? Food ain't so easy to come by. I was so hungry that I'd even eat the rocks in the street.
Well, that's just sad.
And I go to bed hungry one night, and another, and I keep on starving till I end up 2 meals short of turning into a walking pile of bones. Except for my hands.
Except for my
They just won't get. And they're for real heavy, let me tell you.
This southern accent is almost too much.
So, that's the gist of it. You want to hear about my neck, too? Or my name, at least?
The girl's eyes narrowed as she stared at Ader. He fixed his gaze on his hands, considering the strange path this conversation had taken.
So, what you are saying is that you used to be plump?
Plump? Like fruit? Well, I used to eat a bunch of fruit before I came down here last year, yeah.
Last year? Wait, how many eyes did you have then?
How many? 5, I think, but I lost the other 4.
Worst part is I don't know if he's being serious or not.
Just the one, man.
I knew it. You've changed a lot, but it's you. You're that loudmouthed one-eyed chub.
Loudmouth one-eyed chub? Well, that's a very not nice thing to say.
Say what?
It's me. Don't tell me you've forgotten me.
Goff had warned Ader multiple times about the dangers of the "it's me" scams, but he was pretty tempted to fall for this one.
Ma'am, I don't know what you're selling, but I ain't gonna buy it.
Hell no, I ain't buying shit!
Come on. Don't you remember that night on the bridge under Hirab's statue? With the guards laughing at you?
Well, when she started that sentence, I thought it was going to go one way, and then it ended with another, and this thing's been a roller coaster.
You didn't hit your head that hard, did you?
I bet those guards had one haystack of a night laughing at some poor buck, but I'm pretty darn sure that wasn't me. I'd remember you. Trust me.
Oh, he blushing.
It was a pretty long time ago, but... Wait, I know.
I know. She bit her lip just long enough to make Ader lose his need to understand the situation anymore.
Come closer.
Oh, God, what the... She's gonna hit him in the head again and be like, "Wake up, motherfucker!" Who, me, almost asked the deer, yet there was no one else hiding in the midst of the dawn.
I said come closer.
All right,
Even the
then,
music's
here I
like,
come.
oh shit, something about to happen.
That's it. Come on, don't make me walk over there.
God, what the fuck is happening? I'm all worried now.
Boop.
Boop. Boop.
That's close enough.
She slipped right under Ader's arm, uninvited, but not unwelcomed.
Now, if you could get on your knees, you know what? Maybe you should see a doctor after all.
Look at this mother... Look at having a seizure or some shit.
See, there you are!
Oh shit.
Give me a break.
In less than a blink, her smile was back in her face. And she turned to face the voice in the distance. It was some other doe in similarly flashy clothing, hurriedly stomping her way towards Jasif, apparently.
You called?
You called.
We've been looking everywhere for you!
Gotta slowly get my ass out of here.
And so you found me. Congratulations. Now, if you don't mind...
Miss Rochelle's had us searching for hours. She wants you back immediately.
Well, I'm kind of busy, so... Would you be so kind to go tell her to find someone else to bother while I catch up with my friend here?
The fair's about to start. Head back already or you'll get us all in trouble.
The red-haired girl stood completely still. She held her breath for an instant.
I'm sorry. Was that an order?
What? Miss Rochelle said...
Say, do you know what happened to the last wench who had the gall to order me around?
Oh, shit! Jason's smile was still plastered on her face, but her eyes had narrowed down to a squint, sharpening her long eyelashes even further.
I don't...
Care to find out?
Oh, shit. The doe, looking for her stammered, color drained from her mane? After a few tense seconds, a pleased smile spread across Joseph's face.
Come now, honey. Don't make that face. I'm just joking here. I've got too much going on as it is to begin picking fights with my sisters. Don't you think?
Don't
Right.
Then that's settled. Let's go.
Just whipped her braid. Oh, I see. As she turned around sharply, making the choir of bells that hung from her hips announce her leave. Ader had barely just a second to register what had happened. He could swear something had moved in a corner, but he couldn't care less. The finest lass he'd ever laid eyes upon in his whole life was about to disappear, and she seemed to have forgotten all about him. Facing the prospect of never seeing her again, he tried at the very least to catch up to introduce himself formally.
Wait,
Oh, shit.
Yes?
But as Ader was about to speak, he had the same feeling of missing something. And so as his gaze drifted following her back once more, he noticed something else moving behind her derriere. Something long and like a whip, ending in a red tuft of fur. Something that most definitely didn't look like a cervine tail. Confused, his eyes quickly traveled from the zone where her back lost its name to the top of her head. Praying. Wishing. Desperately hoping that he wouldn't find what he found sprouting from the top of her red head. Horns. Coiled, black, barhan thorn. Barhan? I doubt it's barhan. Barhan thorn. Horns, not thorns! Are you an idiot? Yes, longer than his own rack. Ader had to hold back a yelp. He'd been so distracted by the rest of her features that... No way, I wasn't looking at her. Ader yelled internally. Beads of sweat began falling from his temples as his face became even more flustered. There's no way But as if meaning to aggravate his inner turmoil, Joseph smiled one last time with a mischievous glint in her eyes.
Don't worry. I'll see you around. Handsome.
Dun dun dun! Ader was so many things. He was goofy, he was loud, he had a smile that could light up a whole town, he was gigantic, and yet, if there was something he'd never call himself, it was no doubt handsome. After all, a buck's worth may as well be as large as his horns are, and his were tiny, almost childlike. So that offhanded compliment, that mere insinuation that someone found him actually good-looking made his heart flutter. And by flutter, I mean it may as well have burst out of his chest right then. So, for just 1 second, he forgot that the lady in front of him was horned. For a moment, he forgot all the things he'd heard about gazelles. His face turned red, his jaw came loose. He totally shit himself. But he had been able to articulate. He'd completely forgotten the ability to talk. He still knew how to do one thing, though. Run! Get the... Scream of endless suffering! Wordless heartbreak. This time, his shame was stronger than the wall. The sun was already up in the sky by the time Ader managed to remember that he was supposed to go to the bazaar.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to arrive so late. Please don't kill me.
Kill me? But lo and behold, there was no one around.
Ha! What do you know? First again. I'm gonna have to ask for a raise at this rate.
Or you're so late everyone left.
Oh, hold up. Now ain't the time for that.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I love the fucking sprite work in this game. It is so goddamn charming. I love it so. Oh, shit.
Boss! Ha! Gotcha. You're gonna end up giving someone a heart attack if you don't quit sneaking up on people like that, you know.
Oh, shit. I don't like that in my ear. No, I don't. No, I don't.
Right. Don't you think for a second I forgot I was supposed to prepare the stall. No, ma'am. But, you know, days are getting longer, and it's harder to sleep at night, and the streets are real crowded, and...
They ain't happy with you, man. They ain't happy. Ina's silent glare told him that she didn't believe a single word, but she didn't care enough to pry either.
Hey now! Quit giving me that look, missy. You got here late, too.
You are not in a position to be laying down no damn accusations, man! You better get fucked up! Look, they got that is the gaze of a person that has killed many people. Oh, God. She pointed at her hair. It was dripping drops of green water.
And how is it my fault that you were busy dyeing your hair?
Leaving him with that perfectly valid question unanswered, she walked back to pick up the big bag she left a few steps away. She lifted it up with a single hand and then headed towards the stall, closely followed by Ader. It was about time that they began working. A sudden thought popped up in Ader's mind as he helped her set up their carpet.
So, how come the patron ain't here? It's just gonna be the two of us today?
Aina simply shrugged. I'm starting to think that Aina is a mute? Maybe?
You won't tell your pa I got here late, right, boss?
I don't know that she could tell anyone anything. She hasn't spoken. She punched his arm with such a strength that she almost made him fall sideways.
Ow! What did I... Oh, tail.
Yeah,
Sorry, boss.
dumb shit. This little reminder that This little reminder that it was a sensitive issue effectively killed the conversation. People from all over Heirloom began congregating in the bazaar, turning the walled plaza into a sea of spice, trinkets, and deer. The currents of that sea were still difficult to understand for Ader, who often found himself pushed to the ground in the busiest hours. Today would be especially lively. It was the beginning of the Dawsoon season, and so the festive Ecane had to make sure to bid a proper farewell to the rain clouds so they'd be back again by the end of it. A pleasant change from Ader's usual day-to-day, working in Aina's forge under the continuous risk of suffering a heat stroke or third-degree burns. Or that's what he thought at first.
Welcome, welcome!
Ooh, putting on a fucking voice, are you?
We got the best prices in town! Come on and see what goods we offer!
Oh yeah, we gon' make some shit for you! There was no reaction whatsoever to his incessant yelling. Oh god! You put them teeth away, Missy. You scaring the shit out of me, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Other than Aina snickering at him for trying so hard, that is.
Sure must be fun watching me break my back so your dad won't yell at us.
There isn't a damn thing wrong with these sprites. They're expressive, they move, they're communicative, they're unique, they're... I love the art in this game! With a long sigh, Aina sat up and cast a tired glance over the carpet. She reached out and grabbed a small, shiny dagger. Run, motherfucker! After checking its sharpness against her glove, she began stabbing the air as possible customers approached the stall attempting to showcase its intended use. Ader quickly put his hands over his shoulders, discreetly bringing her arms down.
You know what? Nah, take that back. There ain't no deer in the world that works harder than Aina of the Test. There just ain't. A hard worker like you deserves a good rest every once in a while, so just let me take care of this, boss.
Sure, whatever. He did his best attempt at a natural smile. Aina, who couldn't care less about any of this, simply shrugged and sat back, still wielding the knife. She let her hand fall on one of the stones that paved the bazaar and effortlessly tore it from the ground, deciding that it would serve better as a sharpening tool.
You do you.
You do you. The hours passed by slowly and painfully, for they were completely ignored by any passerby. Well, actually avoided rather than ignored. It was no surprise the merchant, Ader's patron, and his mute daughter were two of the most despised people in the city. In spite of the incredible variety of antiquities and smithery that the merchant had for sale, no one ever bought a single thing. And there were plenty of reasons for that. Even Ader had some serious doubts about working for an old barren man whose fur was redder than blood and an albino smith that insisted on dyeing her hair green. The fact that they worked independently from Heirloom's Traders Guild probably had something to do with it too. In any case, it was well after noon, and they hadn't done anything but sit around the whole day. Ader pressed his lips together and began drumming his fingers against the floor. You're gonna piss her off, man. He looked askance at Ana, hoping his subtle call for attention had stirred her curiosity, but there was no answer. Of course there was no answer! He'd have to be the one to actually break the silence as usual.
So, hey, Ana. I bet you're still wondering just what in the world could make a hard-working buck like this one get here so late this morning.
Why would you bring that up again? Ana stopped hitting the rock with the blade. She barely moved her eyes towards Ader.
Well, buckle up, because there's a whole story there. This got to stay between you and I. But, this morning I
saw a gazelle.
I saw a gazelle. But not any gazelle. No, ma'am. She was the fanciest gazelle girl I've ever seen. And there she was in the slums, strutting her hip-shaking, earthquaking, heart-melting butt.
What the fuck? Ana's inquisitive gaze suddenly made Ader very conscious of his own words and thoughts. Ader was most certainly not used to having her pay attention to him when he spoke.
Butt ugly face! So I just ran away because she was so awful.
She gonna be right behind you.
Yeah.
She gonna be right behind you, motherfucker. You can't be saying no shit like that. Goddamn, you can't be doing that shit, man. I could feel how Ana's lilac eyes stared at his very soul, piercing a hole with a question that she meant to ask. Why, it was such an intense look that he felt flustered. With her usual silent demeanor, Ana brought her 2 gloved hands in front of her face. She balled them into a fist, raising just her index fingers. Then she lifted them until they rested on her forehead like tiny horns.
Horns?
With a quick motion, she took her horns to her mouth, biting them.
I ain't no gosh darn freaking horn eater, okay? I like those!
Oh, boy. The best way to define Ana's smile in that precise moment would be terrifyingly mean. While her bad temper was known and feared among the other merchants, it was unusual for her to be so acidic, especially towards Ader. Our dear boy couldn't help but notice this change, and he wasn't going to keep it to himself, of course.
You're acting real ugly, boss.
The smile on her face vanished, replaced instead by a grimace. Grimace! Aw, out there buttering bread. In response to this affirmation, Ana merely shifted her gaze back to the blade and resumed her task, pretending she hadn't heard him. But if Ader was known for one thing, it was his incessant need to stick his nose in everyone's business. Everybody's saying one, so we'll go with that. What's wrong? A wrinkle formed over her nose as she focused on keeping calm, but Ader didn't get the message.
Come on, don't just keep everything to yourself. You know there ain't a single thing in the whole of Dockna you can't tell me.
She can't tell you anything! Dipshit! No sooner he'd finished that sentence, Ana slammed the dagger she was sharpening against the ground, effectively sinking the tip in the ground.
Right. I know there ain't a single thing you can tell me either. This is one of them metaphors things Gaff loves. He says that a hushed mouth ain't got nothing on an open heart.
Oh, God! Ana got up all of a sudden, her face red in anger. Ader was preparing himself mentally for the beating that he expected would ensue, but instead she plopped down on the ground, sitting with her back against his. Our dear Buck was puzzled, to say the least, but Ana didn't even make a sound. She just sat behind him, completely still and hidden from the public eye. Of course, the possibility of getting whacked in the head was now more real than ever, so Ader didn't even attempt to guess why she'd ever do that.
What was the patron thinking?
Well, he probably didn't expect you two to play, hide and seek in the stall.
What the fuck is this grimace mixed with fucking diabetes man mixed with the fucking Grinch looking motherfucker? Oh, sweet Christ. Ader and Anna immediately jumped away from each other, doing their worst at best attempt at looking half professional. A thunderous laugh resonated over the ruckus of the bazaar.
Heel grab?
Heel grab?
It's respectable Illigrab Bund Hollows to you, boy.
Oh my, what a fucking name! I can't believe that this grimace diabetes... Good teeth, though. He's got good teeth.
But please, don't hold back on my account. I'll just look the other way.
What? Oh, Jesus, who the fuck? Oh, here comes the merchant. And so appeared the man that was so red that it would seem that he'd stolen all the color his daughter was lacking.
Patron!
Oh, shit.
Ah, so he gets the respectful treatment and I don't. I see how it is.
What's that salacious doll cop doing to my daughter now?
They're just strengthening their ties of friendship. Ah, or is this a budding love?
My bad jokes are hilarious! Oh shit, he just got whacked. Didn't do anything, I imagine. The merchant shook his cane, hitting Illigrab's twiggy leg with his loud thunk. The tree man just wiggled his mustache in response.
Whoa! Hold up. We weren't doing anything, patron.
That's the problem, you cumberground! You loiter sack! You loiter sack!
A coughing fit saved out of him more old-timey insults, which he could barely comprehend. Once he'd recovered, the merchant put his bearded face next to Ader's, resting the tip of his cane on Ader's chest. He opened his toothless mouth slowly, his breath reeking more like bleach than liquor.
You haven't sold a single thing, have you?
Now, that's hardly their fault, Red.
I'm sure this Yaltson was just frolicking with my daughter as usual!
She's old enough to frolic as she pleases.
Oh hell, you getting in a bad room. You getting in a bad way, tree man.
She hasn't even come of age yet!
Of course she hasn't. There's no way for her to pass that right.
Of course there is! She just needs to open her mouth and stop being an idiot!
The only idiot here is the one talking, patron. Ana's just mute.
I wish that rub off on you!
You wanted to rub off on him? I don't... that is... mixed messages.
And maybe you'd learn to keep your mouth shut when adults are talking!
But I did pass the coming of age right, sir! I got them adult horns and...
Oh, you ain't got no damn adult horns, man.
Shut up! Don't you have anything to say about this, insolent child?
They left.
Ana?
She walked away while you two were arguing.
Then why didn't you say so sooner, you overgrown sapling?
She looked like she needed it.
This is all your fault! And yours!
He stabbed Ader's nose with the tip of his finger.
What did I do?
That stupid child's been acting up since you first arrived!
Don't blame the poor boy. She's always had an attitude, and you know it.
I don't care! You two better go bugger off somewhere else! Or I swear to Arab that I'll hit you so hard that you'll be cropping out your teeth for a week!
I'm done. I can't. Both Ader and Ilgrab winced at that. Oh shit. Dung, dung,
Now hold
dung,
up,
dung.
what?
Come on, Ader! Those two clearly want some alone time. And he'll have plenty of that when I leave him tied to the pyre next time I find a mob outside the shop.
Ha! Ilgrab took Ader by the cape and lifted him off the ground as they walked away. Didn't take Ilgrab long to notice Ader's unusual what the fuck? Reticence to speak.
Please, don't let Red's words affect you. He's, worse today. There's a storm coming from the west, and it's making us old people nervous.
Nah, the patron can preach and holler all he want. That don't bother me much. I mean, I don't cry anymore, at least.
Aww.
What he said to Aina, though? Now that's going 2 paces past the league too far. So what if she can't swear the oath thing? The 3 won't get mad at her for being mute. And anyway, Aina don't gotta pass no right. It ain't like she's getting married any day soon, right?
There. Got it all out of your system, boy?
You know what? All this stuff I'm saying means radish stew if I don't say it to her face. I gotta find her and make sure she's alright.
Little Grab didn't reply to the last affirmation. He placed Ader carefully on the ground and patted his cape to straighten it.
Well, in that case, I have to go back to keeping watch on the fair. So, this is where we say goodbye for today. Hey, I'll send someone to fetch you if I see her, okay?
Ader nodded resolutely. They waved goodbye to each other. There he goes. Ader nodded resolutely. I already said that. And then the buck just stood there wondering where to start looking when the bazaar was half a league from gate to gate. Assuming she was still in the bazaar at all.
Finally! I thought that fluffy bastard was never leaving.
There he is. Goff walked into the scene with a huge smile as the giant disappeared in the distance.
Afternoon, Mr. Bard.
Oh, lad, what a face.
Well, see, it's a long...
Ah, not a word. Thy mien speaketh clearer than thy tongue doeth.
Christ.
You're hungry.
Nah, I ain't in the mood to...
Well, I am. And I can't play a song when my stomach's growling a gazelle. Let's get some fried leaves.
Sorry, Bard, I ain't got time for any of that. I gotta go look for Aina. She just ran away angry as all get out, and I know darn well if I don't go check up on her, no one's gonna...
And I thought my songs were monothematic.
Ooh, monothematic, goddamn. Goff picked the strings on his oud one by one, deep in thought, while Ader just paced around.
I know just the place to look.
A ditch. Goff expertly snuck through the crowds, moving with such ease that he seemed to be a little more than a shadow. Ader did his best to keep up with him, though that was hardly an easy task when he was 1 head taller than most other deer. The place Goff was looking for wasn't in the plaza itself, surrounded by stalls and other merchandise, but rather one of the many alleys that led to the bazaar. Oh hell, there's people hooping and hollering and jumping around and having a good time. The crowd there was bustling with life as well, but not in the same manner. They were all rowdy, dear, pushing and cheering and laughing and crying, and God, the sounds just won't get out of my head. And they're gone. A Conmay alley. Conmay alleys were very different from the official sort. While killing was still very much frowned upon, there was no chivalry, no one set of rules. There was no way of knowing if the horns you were being gored with were hygienic. There were punches and kicks and all sorts of cheats. It was chaos. And for that, and several other reasons, Aina was a huge fan of unofficial Conmay. Sadly, as much as Ader jumped and pushed and yelled, she wasn't anywhere to be found.
Alas, your fair maiden is in another alley.
Ah! Possible Mario references. Ader cast a long glance over the improvised battlegrounds, attempting to find her at one last time.
That's too bad. Aina kicked some serious ass here.
Good thing she's not allowed to fight.
Yeah, ain't no way they're gonna let it go.
A golem, Ader.
Goff cast a very serious look in his direction. This wasn't the first time that they've had this discussion, and it wouldn't be the last.
How many times do I gotta tell you? Aina is not a golem, Kay? She's a doe. It's just she's a bit of a weirdo.
Weirdo. Right.
Weirdo.
Tell me, Ader dearest, How many albino does can you name off the top of your head that can lift your heavy butt with just one hand?
My dumbass did not put it together that he was a bard, even though he kept getting called Mr. Bard and had the fucking thing, and that's the reason why he talks all sing-songy. Why am I an idiot?
Aina! Now let's go! We gotta find her!
Why do I even bother? Look at her. Golem or not, she's just a little cabbage head hiding in the crowds of this enormous city. She's damn good at hiding. And do you know why people hide?
Because they don't want to be found.
Because they don't want to be found.
Hey, there you go. Goff extended his arms towards him in a dramatic manner, remarking how correct he was.
We're not gonna find her. So why don't you go and use your thick skull for something useful? Like bringing us money so we can have dinner for once.
Goff pointed at the ring with his horns, and Ader knew better than to insist. With a heavy sigh, Ader nodded and began walking towards the ringmaster.
Ah, wait, there's just one more thing. Your bag of coins. You wouldn't want to lose what little we have to the hands of, say, some ill-intentioned crook, now would you?
Better the evil you know, right?
Goff extended his hands a bit too keenly, waiting for Ader to find the purse he usually hid within his sash. But...
Whoa, Bard. You're really gonna bust a gut laughing.
Don't tell me you lost it!
Alrighty then.
Goff's scrawny body trembled like a branch about to snap off. That fucker...
Just go. Alright. See that sweaty blackhead over there with the glistening fur and that charming smile? That's your foe. I'll go place my bet now. Are you feeling like a winner, ladder?
Charming? Oh, hold up! You mean the guy with them sharpened horns? Oh, darn, Bard. Your confidence in this poorly put together row is much appreciated, but as much as it hurts me, and it does, I think I'd rather go to bed hungry today.
What?
What if he hits me in the face? I don't want to go from Ader the one-eyed to Ader the no-eyed!
Then do enlighten me, my boy, on how in the name of the Hatsa do you pretend to become a knight if you can't handle even a rack pointed at you?
Oh shit, that motherfucker is getting intense.
No wonder you can't even catch a hint, yellow piece of mangy venison.
Oh, that motherfucker. Yellow piece of mangy venison, motherfucker, son of a bitch.
Sorry about that.
What are you mumbling there, Goff?
I said I'm going to walk you through this. So oh help me three if you mess up.
Hey, let this toe in. And a girl, you sure eat your veggies. But those sticks on your forehead, I can't fool anyone.
Oh, Jesus.
If he's serious, this is gonna be easier than I'd thought.
Oh, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? This is not the version where I get a battle system to work either, so we're going to play pretend together and make like you won. Yay! You gotta love in development games. That's fucking amazing. And it even says this from Sandra. Oh, God.
Woo! I can't believe it! Still alive and kicking! Come on, show me the money, Bard! I wanna bite every single coin!
You know, they should just leave that in the final version. That's just funny.
I completely forgot to place the bet.
Oh, you mother son of a... Goff covered his face with his hands, making some sort of unintelligible noise that can only be described as the very sound of anger.
Hey, Big Ed, I want to learn some tips too. I'll buy you dinner.
Hey now, sir! You really think you're gonna steal my manager away, so...
God, shut Ader's mouth snout with one hand.
My dear boy, you sure gave it all today, so why don't you go and enjoy what's left of the fair? I have a gig in the tavern later. Money, yes. Don't expect me tonight.
Oh, that turncoat mother... With that, Gov hurriedly shooed a very confused Ader away.